Ah, yeah. Hey, Amaru. Only if you're ready. Let's go. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Me no care about all the noise, but I'm digging your station. See how you got my head spinning with a body rotation. Couple days went by, now I'm losing my patience. Go ahead, drop a pin, girl, wanna know your location. What's your location? Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love they do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah. Do you know she royalty? Do you know she royalty? One that I get heart racing. I did feel like with her we can take over nations, yeah. We can take a trip whenever, girl, you need a vacation. Number one bad girl, killing everything like on a mission. Girl on a mission. Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love they do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah. She royalty. Do you know she royalty? Yeah. Do you know she royalty?
When do it becomes when do it becomes
Hello everyone, welcome to the Thursday podcast. Hope you're all doing well. It's almost Friday tomorrow. Hope we've all got nice plans for the weekend. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Thank you once again for getting me to 15,000 subscribers. You are awesome. And thank you to the mod squad for always doing the Lord's work. You are amazing. Right, almost 300 of you in the chat, and I think I can see all of the usuals. Hey, Black Queen. Oh, you'll be out of the clouds today. All right, I guess you can catch up on the replay. Thanks for dropping in. Hey, Fancy, Patty J. Myrtle Myers Hall. It's not a name I think I've seen too much before. Are you new or a silent listener? Hey, Valerie. How you doing? Is it sunny in England finally now? Is it finally sunny? Finally getting some vitamin D. Oh, wait, who is it? Teresa 1001. Thank you so much for the super chat. I was watching the live back from the other day, and I don't think I thanked you for your super chat. So sorry about that. Hey, Norma Campbell. Hey, Mina. Hey, Patricia. Levy. Adona, hello. Happy Thursday, Lavender. Hey, Jean. Hey, Ruth. Hey, Crystal. Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you all for helping me get to 15,000. Incredible. Right, let's get to it. A couple of things to get through. Kawaii, the song is She Royalty by Amaru. She Royalty by Amaru. I believe you can download it off of the Apple iStore, but I get all my music from Epidemic Sound as a content creator. Valerie, it's sunny, but it's cloudy. Okay. I'm sure we'll get a little bit more warm as the weeks come. I mean, I'm literally in a country bordering Russia, and it's pretty much spring here. So I'm sure you'll get more sun soon. Right, let's get on to some positive news first. So I still don't have a video of that clip where Harry was speaking to people about the Invictus Games, but apparently he did speak a little bit of German. Amazing. And yeah, we are, I think it's 149 days to Invictus, and I do still have my ticket for the opening, and I should still be going. I was looking at the prices for hotels and stuff. Dusseldorf is not like cheap. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey, but I'm not gonna do it like super expensive. I will probably stay in the cheapest and most convenient, like 6 bunk bed dorm, and just like slum it. Because I think I'm only going to be going for the opening and a little bit of sightseeing anyway, so I don't really want to spend too much money. But yeah, hopefully I will see some of you squaddies there. Please let us know if you're coming in the comment section. Right. Centre Ballet sent out their acknowledgements the other day, and Sussex Squad was in the acknowledgements, and some of the tabloids have now noted the Sussex Squad mention Victoria Ward, who is a Royal Rotaract, and India Targat, who I haven't heard too much about. I think she's one of the more silent ones. And they put out this in the Telegraph. Prince Harry thanks controversial Sussex Squad for boost to his Centre Ballet charity. Army of social media followers have previously been in the spotlight for some members indulged in online abuse of Duke's critics. Hitting back at trolls is not abuse, number one. Number two, I don't know what makes us so controversial, other than the fact that we, I think, have helped in putting the press in their place and holding them accountable. I think that makes us very successful. Don't know about controversial. Oh gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, have you been able to hear me? I just realized that my mic was above my head. Oh my gosh. Do I sound better now? So sorry. Bowler's World, how do you sign up for membership? So you can either sign up through YouTube, or you can sign up through Buy Me a Coffee as well. Let me just get the link for that. So sorry if the sound has been a bit funny, guys and dolls. Did not realize that the mic was above my head. Jesus. Just give me a sec so I can get the link for Miss Bowler. Or anybody else that wants to join. Yeah, if you want to join, it is better to join or donate through Buy Me a Coffee, just because YouTube takes like 30% of everything, but whatever is more convenient for you. And thank you so much, everybody that supports. Yeah, Mary Rose, King of the Global Prince Harry spoke the native language. And that's what you're meant to do when you're a representative for your company, for your country. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't even want to go there. But you're right. William should take notes from Harry. He's the Prince of Wales and didn't bother to learn any Welsh. Even Diana, when she went to Wales, she learned some Welsh and she spoke it very well. Yeah, Raven, they're just mad because the squad has receipts and always push back. I actually think that I need to go back some years, maybe at least a decade, and start trailing through some of what the royal reporters used to write about. Because like there's something I found out today that just blew my mind about the Middletons. We're gonna go into that soon. But I feel like there was a time when they were a lot more willing to criticize. And then it's like Meghan came along and they found a new punching bag. And the other palace officers found someone that they could use as a distraction. All right, thank you. You could hear me. Thank you. Oh dear. Yeah, you thought it was just you. Oh gosh, no. Sorry, guys and dolls. Right, on to the next thing. And well done, everyone, for all of your fundraising and raising awareness. Because this is what we have now, a fortress. You've got the raw reporters outside, British media with their lies and innuendos. They can't get to the Sussexes, and now they want to go after everyone around them. I'm actually so glad that Harry and Meghan have never said the words Sussex Squad. They've always just said, thank you to our supporters. And I hope they never say the word Sussex Squad, at least while the British media still has some power. Because then it's just an open line of attack. And that's what they want. And now they're going after everyone who's surrounding the Sussexes. I mean, they have been for a while, but before it was like other celebrities, friends, and now they've realized like, whoa, there's this powerful fan base that they have, and they've been trying to find ways to infiltrate the squad, to incriminate us, and it's just not working. Now, we all remember the How Could You Forget disgusting article that Jeremy Clarkson wrote in The Sun. Now, that has received over 25,000 complaints, and Ipso News have not done anything. Ipso News is the watchdog, and they're not going to do anything because Ipso News is the press. However, regardless, I think it's still important that those 25,000 people did file those reports, because what this does, it exposes what is meant to be a watchdog as just the foxes running the hen house. So when we look back at this time and we say, well, why wasn't there anyone doing anything after 25,000 complaints? We can say, well, the people that are meant to be the watchdogs are basically just regulating themselves. So well done to everyone who did put a complaint through. Nothing's going to happen regarding this piece, but it's still receipts building up for the future. I do believe there will be a time when the British press will be held accountable. On to the coronation. This article came out in the Telegraph by Philip Johnson, saying it is time to end this coronation apathy and show that Britain can be bothered. If people cannot get excited about a coronation for the first of 70 years, what does the country get worked up about anymore? I don't know, sir. I don't know. I don't know why people would not be excited about £100 million party when they can't pay their gas bills. However, thank you so much for admitting what many of us were thinking, that there is apathy towards this coronation. That a lot of people just don't care. Mr. Philip Johnson can't figure out why the peasants are not excited about Charles and Camilla going through central London in a golden carriage. Philip Johnson just can't figure it out. He can't figure out why people aren't excited. People have been getting worked up about a lot of things, sir. Have you not noticed the strikes? Everybody and their grandmother is striking. And now, leading up to the coronation, parking wardens are going to strike. I actually just wish they would strike every single day. And there will also be strikes at Heathrow. starting from the 4th, and they will also be on the 5th and the 6th. Not that I think anybody was gonna fly in for the coronation, really. But there are other things going on in the country that I cannot believe that anybody would ask why nobody is interested in an overpriced party. I really think that they have crossed a line with putting Camilla front and center. I think this is going to go down as the biggest mistake about this whole Clownanation, because I think that people would have tolerated Charles, but they cannot tolerate Camilla because Camilla brings up so many memories of Diana. She should have been in the background. I don't even think that she should have been on this up on the stage with Charles at all. She should have just been in the audience. And now she is going to be there being crowned. And someone summed this up really well on Twitter. Miss Dr. Bethany said, the reason Camilla was rehabilitated was because she was kept relatively low key. More exposure recently has meant more scrutiny of actions and more people remembering how they once felt. Not keeping her a lower key consort is proving to be a PR disaster for the monarchy. The Queen knew it. She left careful plans to prevent this happening, and they were ignored. Should have listened to her Madge. And then Sally says, and making her queen. When so many of us remember what happened to Diana, the mother of our future king, is a step too far. Bethany then responded, it's exactly what I'm hearing from so many people who are traditionally pro-monarchy. It's a step too far. They were willing to tolerate because she made Charles happy, but they're not prepared to accept as anointed monarch in her own right. And to see these two adulterers getting crowned, parading through the streets, being anointed, apparently they're using the shards from Jesus's crucifix or something, like all of this nonsense. For two people who are the furthest thing away from what we should be looking at as an example of how to conduct yourself. You're in one of the highest positions of the land. Everybody is looking at you. Young people are looking at you. And what are they seeing? They're seeing two conniving adulterers. They're seeing a father who let his son be open to attack. That are going to be paraded in gold-gilded carriages. What type of message is that sending? And how does that look to the rest of the world? Don't know what to say. Really don't know what to say. Don't know what to say that hasn't been said already. Just counting the days to this whole thing. A YM droid, can't blame Charles. Genes on this one. When he was Prince of Wales, he learned Welsh as well. Yeah, and that's what you're meant to do. At least learn a couple of words, please. Colleen, so they consider Sussex Squad criticism online abuse. They want to dish it out but can't take it when served. That exactly. And it's not abuse when people are just pushing back against your lies. Gwen trying to cook. What you cooking? Salmon, chicken? Yeah. Angelina, they are mad that they cannot intimidate the squad into silence because we're not a monolith. And we're all over the world. There's no one central person that controls the squad. I think that's what makes us so powerful. Give me one sec, folks. Yes, Bola, I saw the membership. Thank you so much. That is so generous of you. Much appreciated. Thank you for becoming a member. And thank you for becoming a Silver Squaddy. Much appreciated. Thank you, Bola. Oh, okay. Let me just cover this. I don't think I even have a picture, but then again, why do you even want to look at Dan Wooten? But let me just cover the whole Dan Wooten thing. So there is a petition going around to get Dan Wooten deported. Guys, please just ignore it. I would love for Dan Wooten to get deported as much as anyone else, but it's just not going to happen. If Dan Wooten has been in this country for 5 to 6 years, he's probably a citizen. And someone mentioned that apparently he was born in New Zealand and then he came here as a child, so he may have gotten citizenship through his parents or something like that. If you are a British citizen, it is very, very difficult to deport you. It is even difficult to deport or revoke citizenship from actual terrorists, like people who are literally planning to uh, cause like physical terror attacks. It is that difficult to deport someone. And I'm only just saying this because I feel like people see um petitions like that and they get really worked up and they get their hopes up and you know if someone starts a petition like that and they have not included the legal framework of how it would be done, there's just no point of putting our time and energy there or getting our hopes up. I think that there are other means to get to people like Dan Wooten through the law, through press reform, um, and it is looking to be quite likely that Dan Wooten may be charged for illegal information gathering, for libel, for other things related to his activities in the press. So, when you see things like that, just make sure that you actually do your research and that you're just, you're not getting your hopes up for nothing. I've been through the British citizenship process. Um, he's not getting deported, guys. He's not getting deported, and that passport is not being revoked. Okay, even if he was found guilty of something, he still wouldn't get his passport revoked. I'm sorry. Okay, we will get to him some other way. Karma will get to him some other way. Karma knows everyone's address, and karma can work in many, many ways, but unfortunately, karma cannot revoke passports, especially not a British passport. Right. Colleen, you said Camilla's name beside his and not below, saying she has equal power. That's unacceptable. I am so astonished the Brits aren't rebelling against Camilla openly. Diana is queen. What is left to be seen? I think a lot is going to go down on that coronation day. Tonya Sweat, you said, why do I get the feeling that this coronation is going to be somebody's Latin to English translation of horrible year? Yeah. I'm getting that feeling too. Oh, you're making pork chops and greens. Nice. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do promo for somebody else's channel because there is this channel that does Indian cooking and it just demystifies Indian cuisine. I think it's called Spice Eats or something. Honestly, like I have been eating. Yes, it's called Spice Eats. This is the link. And I have been eating so well ever since I started following tutorials from this channel. Like any Indian dish that you can think of, and I think they do some Far East Asian stuff as well. There is on this channel, and they just simplify the cooking process. So definitely go and check them out. Oh, Rosalind, listening from St. Lucia, amazing. I am probably going to be on that side of the planet sometime next year. I'm looking at Mexico. There's a lot of digital nomads there. So I am hoping that I can make some time to at least visit one of the islands as well. Fingers crossed. Lilybell, the best way is to go after the advertisers. Yes, and there are organizations that actually do that and have been quite successful. I think one is called Stop Funding Hate. tell the advertisers that you will be boycotting their products. And a lot of the advertisers have actually pulled because of that. So there are other ways. Benjamin, I don't believe the Queen was ever truly 100% cognizant of the time, 100% of the time in her last year. Who knows if she was in full control of her? Yeah, I don't think she was either. When I saw that article, I actually had a Instagram memory come up on February 22nd of this year, and it was from a year ago. And it was an article that Kate Manzi, the one who Harry is now in a lawsuit with because of her lies about Harry's security, she wrote an article on the 22nd of February about Charles is preparing for his coronation. And I actually posted at the time, "This is weird. Is the Queen dying?" And then we all know what happened by September. So I think there were signs in the media. They were leaking to the media to prepare for Charles even back then. And it's just so strange to know that this family, I don't think, really cared too much. To the point where Harry said on the Today Show, "I just want to make sure the right people are around my grandmother." And he was the only one using that kind of caring behavior. Caring language, or showing any type of caring behavior towards his grandmother in the final months. It's really telling. The other ones were leaking to the press. And one of the reporters that leaked to the press just so happens to be the one who then lies about Harry and is now in a court case with him. Oh, 6 degrees of wildness. Madwell, Danny Boy is getting the same treatment as Harry. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, but just don't get your hopes up. We'll get down in other ways. Yeah, Benjamin, I've been looking into house sitting as well. There's a lady on YouTube called Stephanie Perry who does a lot of content on house sitting and traveling and house sabbaticals for Black women and career sabbaticals for Black women and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's something that I've looked into. Having said that, rental is just so much cheaper in almost every other corner of the globe than it is in London. So rent is definitely not something that I ever complain about. Okay. On to the next thing. Right. The Daily Fail. I just wanted to bring this up because I think it just demonstrates the stalker behavior of the Daily Fail and also the misogyny of the Daily Fail. When you are a woman who fits their one-dimensional idea of what it means to be attractive, and when you don't fit their one-dimensional idea of what it means to be attractive. So there is a actress, model called Bridget Fonda, and the Daily Fail wrote an article about her on the 27th of January 2020. 90s pinup Bridget Fonda, 58, looks unrecognizable as shy star is seen in public for the first time in 12 years after quitting her acting career. She was seen in public because you sent your photographer to go and pap her. And then they posted almost the exact same article a year later, April 16th, 2023. Jackie Brown star Bridget Fonda, 59, looks unrecognizable as she's seen on rare public outing 20 years after she left the limelight to focus on family with Danny Elfman. She left the limelight to focus on family, and you have cameras following this woman around in 2022 and 2023, just so you can compare what she looked like in her youth and what she looks like now, as if a woman is not allowed to age. How dare she age? How dare she age? How dare she try to live a life of privacy? And here you are papping her. This lady has not done nothing to no one, and you are going out of your way, because this is what the British press love. You saw a similar thing the other week when one of the S Club 7 members passed away. You know, talking about his bankruptcy, talking about his, problems. Someone has died. A family is grieving. Fans are grieving. And all they're focused on is getting a story. And this type of reporting, what does it do to the psyche of the people who are reading this? Getting a thrill over, the fact that this woman maybe doesn't look the way that she did when she was younger. And so what if she doesn't? People are allowed to age. Getting a thrill about the fact that she's, maybe not the star that she was. Well, she doesn't want to be a star. She opted out of Hollywood and she's living her life very quietly. And you're literally going out of your way to find her just to report a story like this. This is a culture that they create. And it's not just about stars as big as Harry or Elton John. You can even choose to opt out. This woman has opted out. She's living a quiet life. And they are still dragging her back into spotlight. Hasn't been to a red carpet in years. Maybe doesn't even have social media. This needs to be addressed. Like there needs to be laws about this. Because why are they just allowed to just go? I mean, she's clearly just probably just outside her house, going to get some groceries. This isn't someone who lives her life in the public eye. Why are they just allowed to go and pap her like this? Oy. Educate you. Princess Anne was the only one with the Queen through her transition. It seems like it. Apparently, Charles is picking mushrooms. Benjamin, you said, yes, I've heard of Stephanie Parry. It's easier for you as a female or part of a couple to house sit than single male. So you're lucky. Aw. We can do it. It's just a bit harder. Aw. There's also crowd surfing where you can stay for free, but crowd surfing is more of a cultural exchange. Not really my thing. Hi, Hasna. Thank you so much for being here. Was Edith in the house? Hey, Edith. Hey, Edith. Happy Thursday. Yeah, Sandra, journalism is lost. Yeah, they don't follow the laws. But the thing is, it's like the laws aren't even there to protect someone like this. Yeah, and they're advocating for mental health problems, and you've got articles like this, and they're doing propaganda for the royals. Oh, she's Jane Fonda's niece and Peter Fonda's daughter. Okay. Oh, Benjamin is couch surfing. Look up couch surfing. Okay. Next thing, the Middletons. Right, so there's been lots of articles about the Middletons business this week. I have said, thank you, Denise T, for the coffee. I have said that there is something very suspect about the fact that all of this is coming out now, because I believe this business has had problems for a while. They just kept it very quiet, and they had protections. And it's strange that this is all coming out in the lead up to the clowning. I do believe, by the way, and a lot of people disagree with me, I do believe that William will divorce Kate. I do believe that it's William who wants to divorce Kate. And I do believe that they're setting the stage for that to happen. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that is my prediction. So, two of Party Piece's business partners suddenly quit in March. So this is from Celeb Bitchy. The funniest thing about Carol and Michael Middleton's Party Piece's business collapsing is a distinct lack of gossip and commentary about it in the British media. The Daily Mail, Tatler, The Telegraph, they're all doing... Sorry, I have to just make my screen a little bit bigger. Okay, they're all doing straight reporting about the situation around Party Pieces. There's no commentator chiming in about how a potential bankruptcy for the future Queen's parents looks awful. There's no royal biographer briefing the Mail about how the Middleton brand is going down the drain. All of those commentators are so focused on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's businesses and putting the nasty spin on Harry's paymasters. Meanwhile, their future Queen's mother mismanaged what was supposed to be an 8-figure business into what looks like total insolvency. Nary a whiff of commentary about the fact that the Middletons will likely have to pay a dowry to offload the failing, debt-ridden business. Well, here's more straight reporting. Apparently, the Middletons need to offload Party Pieces in a hurry because two of their partners and financial backers pulled out rather suddenly. Holy-ish. Carol and Michael Middleton put their Party Pieces business up for sale after two of their three financial backers pulled out, it has emerged. Stephen Bentwood, Chief Executive of parent company Party Pieces Holdings since 2019, and investor Daryl Ells resigned as directors in March, according to documents filed this week at Companies House. It was only after their departure that the Princess of Wales's parents called up the consultancy Interpath to help them find a buyer for the company they founded in 1987. Mr. Brentwood, who previously built up his own lingerie company, and Mr. Ells, a former chairman of Oxford United Football Club, and Eric Anderson, an American millionaire, all invested in Party Pieces when it became a public limited company 4 years ago. And now, only Mr. Anderson remains as a director, together with Mr. and Mrs. Middleton. Sorry, give me a sec, folks. It comes after reports that the Middletons are considering handing over a 6-figure sum to a buyer in order to offload the businesses. Party Pieces lost $285,000 in 2021, taking its total deficit to $1.3 million, according to publicly available accounts. A source close to the sales process confirmed that Mr. Brentwood and Mr. Ells had resigned as directors before Interplan was asked to give advice. The Middletons have asked Interplan to advise them on options, which include a sale or finding new investors. The company is hoping it will receive a major boost from the Coronation, at which the Middletons are expected to be guests by promoting a range of items for use at street parties. Sky News reported this week that one of the leading contenders to buy the business is Club Green, one of its rivals, which is also a family-owned business selling party goods. Potential bidders have been told that Party Pieces has shown some recent UK performance contraction during international expansion and focus on margins. The Middletons are reportedly offering a 6-figure... Okay, so it goes on about that. Okay, so then Celebrity goes on to some very interesting commentary. Is no one going to do a follow-up on why two of their business partners suddenly exited the business in March? Is no one going to do a follow-up on why Carol and Mike took on these business partners in 2019? Is no one going to ask if it's tacky as F that the future Queen's gauche bankrupt mother is hoping that her coronation invitation helps spur Party Pieces sales? I always thought that James Middleton was the black sheep of the family, the one with zero business sense, a well-connected grifter with a reverse Midas touch. But no, the apple didn't fall far from the grifter tree. Party Pieces has been a house of cards for a while. Sounds like those business partners just wished up to the extent of failing business this year. Good Lord. Also, how have Carol and Mike been funding their lavish lifestyle for years as their business went under? Good question. Does it have anything to do with that pot farm adjacent to Middleton Manor? I did not know about this. So what is celeb bitchy referring to here? This was complete news to me. So back in 2020, this is back in 2020, there was a cannabis factory that was found not too far from the property of Kate Middleton's parents. So, and this was also posted on Celeb Bitchy back in 2020 when the news first broke. I just wasn't following the royals too closely back then, so I didn't hear about this. So for years now, we've questioned the Middleton family's finances. Personally, I believe that Party Pieces was, at one time, a profitable business, which would have ensured a comfortable middle-class life for Carol and Michael Middleton and their 3 children. I agree with that. But would Party Pieces' profits really have ensured expensive private educations of all 3 Middleton kids, though? Well, I also actually believe that the Middletons did get quite a hefty inheritance from distant relatives. So I do believe that's what also led to some of their initial wealth. So it wouldn't. I don't think there's anything suspicious about the fact that they were able to buy a good property and put their kids through private education all those years ago. I question their wealth now, but I don't think there's anything suspect about their wealth back then. And would the Middletons be able to finance their kids' extended and adolescence well into adulthood, which included a large London apartment, Kate and Pippa never holding real jobs, extensive vacations, and more? No, I don't believe Party Pieces was that successful. So people have often wondered if dodgy Gary Goldsmith, Carol's brother, largely financed the Middleton family. That's what I've always believed too. But there's another theory. Party Pieces is a front for the Middleton's cannabis operation. So, a power cut led to police finding a huge cannabis factory near the sprawling Berkshire estate belonging to Kate Middleton's parents. Police officers were joined by a fleet of lorries on Thursday after the illegal farm was discovered in a barn in Bucklesbury. The Duchess of Cambridge's parents, Michael and Carol Middleton, live in nearby Bucklebury Manor, a mansion with an 18-acre estate. Police following a power outage on Wednesday, which led to an investigation by the Electricity Board. When workers discovered the farm on Thursday morning, the police were called. Onlookers say 6 lorries joined police at the farm and began loading up the contents inside the large green barn. Witnesses said the police arrived after the Electric Board had been at the property all morning trying to work out why the electrics had blown. The Electric Board left and the police arrived shortly after, around mid-afternoon. Now, initially when this came out, there was a call to the public for information. I have not been able to find anything about a follow-up investigation, anything about if anybody was charged or who that cannabis farm belonged to. So if anyone listening can find me follow-up information on this, please send it to me via Instagram or Twitter. Because there are several articles about the initial police raid, but no follow-ups at all. And hardly anything about this, really, other than, a few articles sprinkled here and there about this raid. Who owns that land? Where this cannabis farm was? I do believe that there is something quite dodgy about how the Middletons have been funding their lifestyle. And I've always felt there is just something very strange about this couple. Their mannerisms, the few times that I've heard them speak. I remember when it was announced that Kate would be marrying William. And, any parent would be happy for their daughter to get married. and it's the future king of England. But there's just always been something about them for me. That, you know, when you look at someone and you look at their eyes, you look at the way they carry themselves. I feel like there's some dark secrets that are gonna spill out. And one of the reasons I do believe that William will divorce Kate is these people are clearly desperate for money, and their best source of money would be a huge divorce payout from the royals. That is my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So I'd love to know what you all think of that, because I never knew about this. And again, if you have any follow-up information about this cannabis raid, if there were any charges, if anybody was arrested, or just who this land belongs to, because I couldn't find anything. Right, go to your comments. Yeah, Tonya, can you imagine being 50 and being hounded by the press and the tabloids when you're just minding your business? Sandra, you agree about the divorce too. Well, if you look at pictures and video of William and Kate the last couple of years, William is not trying anymore. Kate still is. He walks ahead of her, doesn't hold her hand, doesn't hold her up the steps, draws away from her, doesn't even look at her. When he is looking at her, he's clenching his jaw. He seems irritated and bored. But Kate always has that grin. She always has game face on. So I think if they were going to stay together, he would at least try. He's not even trying. Tanya, William wants to be happy and in love like his brother. If you are holding on to so much anger, so much trauma, there is nothing and no one that is ever going to make you happy. I think that if he was to divorce Kate and get with someone else, get with his Rose, that's not going to fulfill him still if he's hanging on to so much and on his shoulders. You can't walk around in life with that much heaviness on your soul. You just can't. Nothing will ever make you happy. And, you know, like Harry said about his father, he still seeks external validation, despite the fact that he was going to be future king, he's going to be king now. Still seeking external validation from the press. Still seeking the love that he never got from his mother because she was too busy being the queen. And he got his Camilla. Still not happy. Benjamin, imagine the tabloid headlines when the full truth emerges. We can predict it now. Future Queen's parents are dead broke, or future Queen's parents relying on William Duchy for support. Yeah. And I believe that even the tabloids are slowly testing the waters. They want to talk about William so bad. They're just gagged. Karma has visited Party Pieces indeed. Party Pieces is in pieces. Valerie, this is deep. Uncle Gary, did he visit? Yeah, there's definitely an Uncle Gary connection here. Definitely. I think it's also one of the reasons why they still roll him out every now and again. They rolled him out to attack Harry and Meghan. Yeah, Kate's uncle was a drug dealer. Yeah, that's also true, Margaret. William did give the Middletons money to buy their home that they're in now. Lorna, part of why Party Pieces investors left, I believe, is that they did their homework and knew the extension into the US was going to fail. Yeah, that's very likely also. Benjamin, does anyone think that their wealth was yeah. I think that their wealth was really like overhyped. I think that they had enough to be able to get into these circles and put their kids in school, um, and then get into uni. I mean, uni in the UK, you can get loans. So even going to Oxford or Cambridge, you can get a loan from the government. But those initial years of making sure that their kids were around the aristo set. And you know what? Like I've always said, there is nothing wrong with. I don't see anything wrong with social climbing. I don't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with wanting better for your life, wanting better for your children. It's just when you're so conniving that you feel like you have to step over other people and not just mind your business. There are many parents who do what the Middleton family do in making sure that their kids get the upper leg in life, which is what you should be doing. But it's very clear that there are some very shady things going on with this family. Yeah, well, what do we have here? I mean, we don't know for sure if they had anything to do with this because, like I said, I could not find any follow ups whatsoever. But I just find it very suspicious. Also, Sarah Tosuck Ferguson was on the morning talk shows today talking about how Andrew should just be allowed to live his life, how he's a great father and grandfather. I mean, there are many perverts who are great grandfathers and fathers, but they're still perverts. That doesn't take away from the fact that they're perverts. He was not great to Virginia Giuffre. And her opinion on Andrew, I think, is the only opinion that matters. So she was out on the morning talk shows, all part of the rehabilitation of Andrew, of course. He will be going to the coronation. And he was at the Queen's funeral, he stood there at the vigil, and you had members of the public walking past him in awe of a pervert. But somehow Harry and Meghan are still the worst, especially Meghan, according to them. Cinderella, will he finally realize he married an idiot? I mean, she's the only one that stayed around. And I can't believe that I never actually sat down to think about this back in the day because, like a lot of people, I bought the fairy tale of this somewhat normal girl who'd nabbed the future King of England. I never stopped to ask, why did none of the aristo girlies want him? None of the aristo girlies from the UK, none of the aristo girlies from the other royal families. None of them wanted their daughters to marry into the British royal family. None of the socialite girlies from the US. And it just really speaks to how I think a lot of people realized this family never changed after Diana. And who would want their daughter to be involved in that? Only Kate Middleton's parents, apparently. And all they had to do was sit and wait. Sit and wait and plot. And it seems like this house of cards is about to come crashing down. I think there's a lot that is going to come out about the Middleton family in the next couple of years. Okay. Only other things that I wanted to mention, we'll finish with your comments. Tim Westwood. Tim Westwood was a very popular DJ in the 90s, a BBC DJ who has been accused by multiple women of sexual misconduct. Now, I remember back in the day when I was a teenage girl, there were whispers about Tim Westwood. You would hear about it in the playground. These whispers reached Chingford, Essex, where I used to live. That's how far these whispers reached. So who knows how many women this man went after. And what's even more heartbreaking is that he went after very young women. He was also apparently targeting black women. And they think that the scale of this might be so large that they've opened a phone line. They have opened a whole phone line. This is the same thing, what was happening with Jimmy Savile. For years, was able to abuse people, and BBC did nothing. And it's the same organization again. And remember that the BBC is funded by the license fee. And personally, I just think that the license fee should be scrapped. I think the BBC has lost its way. I think a lot of people really they cling on to the BBC because they feel as though it's one of the few news outlets that kind of pushes against the right wing. But over and over again, we see how they allow abuse to happen in their organization. And this was happening back when I was 15. I'm in my 30s now. So if you have been affected, anyone who's been affected, if you heard any whisperings, even if they were years ago, please phone them up and let them know. And I think we'll be hearing a lot more about this and the scale of this within the next year. Right, with that, I will end with your comments. If you are over in Wales, look out for these cute little goats, apparently causing mischief and havoc. Right, let's get through your comments. Joe Bloggs, she said, I hope Kate has been paying attention to what Diana was put through. I mean, I feel like if she was paying attention, she probably would not have married into this family. The goal was the crown, the goal was position, and that's what her family wanted. Yeah, that is true that William gave them money for their current house. Yeah, William gave the Middletons money, but Harry had to beg to start his charity. Disgraceful. Oh, hi, Nini. Thank you for being here. William is going to deduct the housing costs in the divorce settlement. Do you remember that article about Charles is offering Meghan £50 million in a divorce settlement? And when I saw that article, I said, I was 99% sure that William and Kate were divorcing before. Now I'm 100% sure. That 50 million is going to go to the Middletons. Maureen, you said, I remember stories saying Kate moved in royal circles for years. Yeah, she moved in royal aristo circles. I mean, it's not that difficult. Go to Ascot, hang out at Soho House, become a Tate Young patron. What, it's only £1,000 a year? Crystal Scott, am I the only one who feels like these people couldn't wait for the Queen to pass on? No, you're not the only one. They made that pretty clear when they raided the Queen's jewelry box. Thank you so much for Lucy Wynn for always reminding people to hit that thumbs up button. and subscribe. Cheryl, didn't Pippa marry a wealthy guy also? Can't they get him to help with their failing business? She did marry a wealthy guy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's just going to be handing out checks. And definitely not a check worth 1.3 million or whatever it is that they're in debt for. Um, living in these aristo circles and living that lifestyle, it costs money. A silly outcome. Andy's got something on Charles and Camilla. There is no way in high heaven and low hell he can walk around like he has no issues. Yeah. But I also believe that there was a deal that was done before the Queen passed. Camilla gets her Queen title, Andrew gets protected. Valerie, Mama Middleton should have left Meghan alone. I do believe that she was involved in the propaganda. The whole Meghan made Kate cry. I think that reeked of Karen Middleton. And I also remember there was an article that referred to Meghan as like Hurricane Meghan. But years prior, there were articles that referred to Karen Middleton as Hurricane Carol. Using very similar terminology. So I believe that Karen Middleton was involved also. She had to be. Because she wasn't going to stand by while this biracial duchess took all the light from her daughter. Meghan was never meant to happen. Yeah, Clara, BBC is an old boys network. Ruth Lopez, every day it's more and more clear why Harry and Meghan will not raise their children to think the royal family's behavior is normal or acceptable. No way would Meghan raise her children around those perverts. Exactly. I mean, why would you want Andrew around with children? Gross. Yeah, JK, like, I never really watched the BBC, even when I used to watch TV. Oh, we're chosen to be his 8 months of membership. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the members and people who donate. Much appreciated. It's the only way I'm able to do this every single day and still work. Tonya, I think the top pic on the upper right with the goats, they posed on point with the camera. Yeah. Lorna, I never heard about William giving money to Middletons. Yeah, I believe it was for their home. Yeah, Pamela, I think that he's waiting until after the coronation to drop the bomb as well. He wouldn't dare do it before because it would just take attention away. I've heard Rose speak a couple of times. There's a video of her. She did like an artsy short film with someone, and you can tell that she has the proper Aristo accent, not putting it on. No mumbling. And she also did a photo shoot with W magazine. So she's definitely someone who is primed for this very strange Aristo life. Yeah, Pamela, they've all got dirt on each other. Alrighty. Who's gonna get the last word of the day? A little Mac who said, I think they never wanted Harry to marry, much less such an accomplished person. Yes, Harry was never meant to Harry was never meant to marry. He was meant to be the party boy. The canvas to throw all the dirt on to cover for William. That's what he was meant to be. Gwen, Pippa took over Kate with her butt. Well, it was the British tabloids that decided to make Kate's wedding about Pippa's butt. Typical of the tabloids. It's like they went out of their way to humiliate Kate. Because I don't know what butt this was that they were talking about. All right. Living in the triangle. I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Hello, Anne and Squaddies. I continue to pray your strength and stamina as we confront the depths of hate and abuse leveled at humans who have not committed a crime. Indeed. Thank you so much for that. Living in the triangle. It will all be well, guys and dolls. Clock is ticking. The coronation will come and go. And I believe it will be very, very interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to observe the coronation and everything leading up to it. We are living history, and everything that is happening around the coronation in the UK is going to affect how all of this plays out. So I will be watching and I will be reporting for you. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.
Ah, yeah. Hey, Amaru. Only if you're ready. Let's go. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love that do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Me no care about all the noise, but I'm digging your station. See how you got my head spinning with a body rotation. Couple days went by, now I'm losing my patience. Go ahead, drop a pin, girl, wanna know your location. What's your location? Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. Bea. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love they do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah. Do you know she royalty? Do you know she royalty? Yeah. Do you know she royalty? Yeah. She gon' say I be that one that'll get her heart racing. I did feel like with her we can take over nations, yeah. We can take a trip whenever, girl, you need a vacation. Number one bad girl, killing everything like on a mission. Girl on a mission. Had to pull a plug on your ex, now you coming my way out. I can switch it up for you, girl, I'm no longer a player. See that pretty face on my screen, that'll make my day out. Bea. I'm only looking for loyalty. All I need from you. I'm thinking you be the one for me. I can see it on you. Your love they do me every time. With you by my side, we gon' shine. Baby girl, you know you royalty. I've been waiting for you. Yeah.